What's cracking, world? Welcome to the ZosCast podcast, episode number 5. Yes, sir. I won't take up too much of your time, but I just want to make a few announcements. First one, I'm having issues with my SoundCloud account. Yeah, so for now, everything is just going to be on YouTube, which is at youtube.com/the ZosCast podcast. Just please give me some time. Let me fix that up. Yeah, and for this episode, man, it got pretty, what's the word? It got pretty intense towards the end. I know it kind of dragged in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But it started picking up towards the middle. But at the end, there's an important message that I feel everyone needs to hear. I still got a list of people that I'm going to be having conversations with. But again, feel free to suggest people. And I just want to make it clear there is a criteria, so even though you give me a name, that doesn't guarantee that I will be having a conversation with them, but I'll definitely look into it. Okay, with all that said, enjoy. Shoots. What's cracking, world? Welcome to episode 5 of the ZosCast podcast. So today's guest, I would like to say is one of the more active content creators here in the CNMI. I think one of the more popular ones, too, that's actually here in the CNMI. And what I mean by that is not some vlogger that lives in the States that's from the CNMI. But anyways, give it up for Mr. Mark Sonoda.
Hi, everyone. Hello, friends and family.
And to the ones that don't know him, he owns and operates We 670.
Yes, I do.
Which we'll definitely get into more in the podcast. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
We've always wanted to be in a podcast, so making it happen in 2019.
Okay, there you go. All right. Let's talk.
Yeah.
So how was I met you a little bit last night. How did your night go? Everything good?
It was satisfactory.
Okay.
I mean, I got home all right, so I guess that's always a good night to get home.
Definitely.
You know where you wake up, so you know where you're at.
Because I know you always said too that you don't really go out too often. Yeah.
I mean, I say that, but then it ultimately turns out to not be true. I always say like, I kind of want to take it a little easier now, but I guess I don't know. Sometimes you just I get bored and I want to go out and mingle, but then it kind of just like turns into me, depending on how the night goes and how the company is.
I see.
But generally, it's always kind of just like the same routine stuff.
Yeah.
So,
especially out here.
I mean, like it's Saipan. What else is there to do? I mean, it's 9 o'clock at night on a Wednesday. You know.
Yeah. Do you carry equipment around or anything to get content?
You mean like in day-to-day life?
Yeah.
I used to always have a camera on me, like my point and shoot, but now I just don't. Like I just feel like I'm doing it so frequently that when I'm off work, I want to be off work.
Oh, okay.
So if I don't, which is, I mean, I always feel like the reason why I did it was because if something happened, like I could just capture right then and there. But my life is not interesting outside of YouTube, so like nothing interesting ever does happen for me to use the camera.
Okay.
So I used to, but it's not a practice that I do now. So.
I see. Yeah. So, and also, by the way, guys, it's Sunday, April 28th, and if you guys follow Mark, I just seen his story, and he just came from a shoot.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, how was that? Is it something you could talk about?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. We are doing a video in collaboration with Marianas for the 2019 Miss Marianas pageant. So basically, we just had a video with the girls. We split them into 2 teams. One team did a makeup look on Celine Concepcion Cabrera.
Oh, the current?
Yeah, the current... Is that's her?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, the current Miss Marianas.
Okay.
Are you gonna edit that out?
We'll see.
Okay. Yeah. Because if she listens to it, I'm gonna be like such a donkey.
No.
Yeah. Sorry. I went out last night. I'm operating at like 85% right now.
You're good. If anything, it shows the human side.
Okay, thank you. I guess, I can be relatable. This is the real me. But yeah, we one team did Celine's makeup, the other team did mine, and it was just an opportunity to get to know the girls, and they were so fun and just so up for the challenge, and it ran a lot longer than I thought it was, because never underestimate how long it takes to put makeup on. So, that takes a lot of time, and especially to do it well. So it ran a little bit longer than I anticipated, but it was a really great way to get to know the girls. They're just so fun and so lovely and so funny. And they made what would have been a really trialing shoot, because I'm not feeling that well. They made it a lot easier, a lot more fun.
Okay.
The process of it.
Nice. Wait, so you were a part of it? You weren't producing it?
I was a part of it. Yeah.
Oh,
so I
okay,
was in a chair getting my makeup done, having all these Asian tourists what is going on? I was like, I look amazing, don't I?
Oh, damn. Yeah. Okay, well, shit. I'm glad you cleared that up. Yeah. I thought you were part of the production.
I am. I'm pretty much a jack of all trades when it comes to E670. I mean, I'm in it, in front of the camera, behind the camera. So that's how it is for now. Hopefully we can get to a point where I can take it easy for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, and is this your second time working with the pageant?
Yeah, I've been working with them, or like this pageant this year.
Yeah, because I remember last year you had a segment with them as well. Yeah?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I did with the 2018 contestants, and I've been helping them in some capacity for, I think, 3 years now.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Nice.
I think since Gian was in Miss Marianas.
Okay.
Yeah, her year.
Nice.
So I've been helping out in and out in little bits and pieces since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, because Gian was the I guess the first guest.
Yeah,
other than Miko and
the inaugural guest.
Yeah. And it was crazy because she really opened my eyes to a lot of stuff that's going on, especially what makes me really excited is this whole Miss Universe thing.
Oh,
I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Yeah, just the fact that, whoever wins this gets to represent the CNMI, man.
Exactly.
I think it's such a big deal, and, especially for the, I say it in the podcast, especially for the younger generation.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of, they're curious about what's going on, kind of like my goddaughter, Leah, I think it's cool for them, dude, they could actually see a path,
Absolutely,
it could take you somewhere, and at the same time, like what Gian was saying, it's a cool ass journey. It
really, the one thing I really get from the girls all year, it's just before and after the pageant, it kind of just forces you to blossom, it forces you to become this better person, because whether you're ready to or not, So I think that's very great, and I think brushing up on what you said to the Miss Universe and seeing the possibilities, I think that's very important, and I think it's a very good service to the community that the pageant does, is because it shows you, it shows you right then and there what you can achieve, and it's really hard living in a 13-mile island. I guess I could, which no knocking off what you can do here, but I mean, not everyone wants to be a nurse, not everyone wants to get a business degree, which are all really noble professions, but to see someone pursue something that's not traditional.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, and that's a better word. I always use uncommon.
Uncommon.
Because I've always said, and that's one of the goals with this podcast is, again, not to knock on any profession, but how comfortable we are as a society talking about getting a degree, talking about going to the military, talking about politics. I want these untraditional, uncommon things to be on that same level.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can graduate and become a musician. You could find success in content creating.
Absolutely, yes.
You could find success in pageantry. That's one of the goals of this as well, is just to show we need to start putting these into the conversation, because I'm 37 right now, and when I was 15. Damn, I'm kind of fuck you, Leaks. Hey, motherfucker's only a couple years younger. Anyway, hey, you see, man, and I walked into a trap because it's kind of veering off, but I'll just touch on it a little. But when I was 15 years old, that's when I fell in love with hip hop. When I fell in love with rap. But just the society that we were living in, there was nothing really that was, I guess, pushing me towards that goal
or encouraging you.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. That's probably a better word for it. And it just sucked, because everywhere I went, it's of course you had your friends and family saying you could do this, you could do that, but the support wasn't necessarily there.
Yeah.
And
it's very different.
Yeah.
Having because your family, I always feel, and it's not to knock my family because they're wonderful and they're very supportive, but it's kind of just I always feel when you get advice from people who are close to you, or feedback from people who are close to you, your happiness is always like the first goal. You know, it's not always usually unless you have like some real ass friends and real ass family.
Yeah.
You know, it's always to make sure that you are happy. So I kind of just like take it a little, which I shouldn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe in the opinions of my family. But I'm saying just to brush up on that, you know, to state the relatability of that fact. Yeah.
No, I got you. But yeah, and you know, I know we kind of veered off, but yeah, this is kind of where you know I like the whole storytelling. Like, you know, how did we surpass all this? You know, how did we get to where we're at now without the support? Or you know, we're trying. I always feel like there's an educational process.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, like you know, with your content creating, in order to get that support, you know, you got to let them know first what's going on and how it's beneficial, and then from there, that's when you know they're like, oh shit, okay, you know, he's doing something, this and that, and it sucks sometimes because it could be your closest friends, you know.
Yeah, they just don't get it sometimes.
And back to what you were saying is, you know, they're out there to look for our betterment, you know, and if they don't know that what our passion is, how would they know that that's the direction we go? You know?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So that I definitely feel you on that. Anyways, back to
Well,
I know. I forgot where we're going, but you know, before we go any further, you know, because I just brought up what you just came from and the whole pageantry. But We 670 is not just about pageantry, correct?
No, absolutely.
It's a whole lot more.
That would be fun, but I mean, it's a very, very broad. But the one anchoring factor of all of the content that we post is that we try to highlight aspects of life, specifically here in the CNMI. So anything that we do has to relate back to your existence here and your lifestyle here and what you grew up with or what you're experiencing here as a resident of the CNMI. So, I mean, that, like I said, it's incredibly broad. I mean, you can do so much with it.
Yeah. 'Cause, you know, one thing I'll just say before you go any further is that, like, even you almost show that there's a lot of stuff to do, you know, on the island.
There's so
like,
much stuff.
You know, everyone has the whole notion of, it's a small island, there's nothing to do here, it's the same thing. I feel like, you know, people that create content like what you've been doing, you know, you're a little bit more creative with the stuff that's available out here.
Yeah,
and you're really
you
showing
have to
it.
be, though. You kind of have to be. Wow, I just totally lost what I was going to say.
No, it's all good. Hey, I do that a lot, too.
Well, like, I got it back now.
Okay,
but
all right.
I want to really emphasize the fact that the CNMI as a place and us as a people, as CNMI citizens, there's just so much potential here in so many things. That's why we're going back to, showing people possibilities and providing encouragement for things that are like non-traditional pathways in life. It's like, there's so many people here who have the potential to pursue stuff like that. I see so many artists. I see so many musicians and cooks and whatever. You know, there's all these other things. And there's an abundance of that here. And that's definitely something that we try to help like shed light on with the channel as well. The potential and the wonderment that is the CNMI right now. You know?
I like how you worded that. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, okay, let's go back to when it all started. Cause I remember it was at your house, and my sister had shown me a video, and you were sitting on, your living room. What do you call that thing that everyone lays on? You know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking. The one that doesn't have arms. Yeah.
It's kind of, it looks weird and
it's something. Yeah,
but I remember, and it was, I forgot what you would ask. Someone would ask you a question, you'd answer it, like dating in the CNMI or something.
Yeah,
like that.
Is
that like where it all started?
It kind of. You know what? It really is actually. Because I made the very first YouTube video I ever made.
Wait, real quick, is that on your personal channel?
No, that was on my personal channel.
Oh, it's not there no more?
It's not there anymore. I took it down. I know. I don't know why I took it down. I was like, it was
classic,
a good video.
Man.
Yeah.
But sorry.
But yeah, that was my very first video that I ever made on YouTube was on my personal channel, and it was this 15-minute like sit down discussion with whoever was watching, like the three people, one being my mother, you know. I talked about, because I just recently moved back from the States, and I was, at that time, I was so set on cultivating a life elsewhere, you know. I was not trying to move back to Saipan. So I started talking about how things like interactions with people are so different,
Mm-hmm.
and it feels so unfamiliar to me now, or at that point in my
On
life.
Saipan.
Yeah, on
Okay.
Saipan.
And you're talking about this because you just moved back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
So it was such a culture shock in a way, because I was so immersed in my life in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
and once I moved back, and it was like it was a very split decision to come back. I really didn't have any plan or any thought of what I was gonna do when I moved back. So it kind of it was brought on by not knowing what the hell was going on, and the fact
dang.
that I just needed to kill time, you know. So I started like fiddling. It was on my iPad. Like
I
I
remember
edited everything on my iPad. It was really bad, shitty lighting and bad, horrible audio. But then it just grew from there.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say you got some buzz out of it, yeah.
I think from what I recall,
okay.
it got some pretty good traction because
Yeah.
it's hella relatable.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean that it's still a subject that I love talking about because it's a very specific to Saipan kind of situation.
Okay, okay,
trying
yeah.
to date in here, trying to like
Yeah.
and not even just a date. It's like if you walk out with someone that people don't see you normally walking out with, they're like, oh my God, is she going to get married? You know what I mean? It's like, no, we want to go get a bagel. Like, calm down.
Yeah, because I remember you were talking about that, and what drew me to it was
Yeah.
just the humor behind it, you know?
Yeah.
And it was just, and the way you edited it was like, for the people that edit videos, it was so simple but creative at the same time, like
thank
how you were
you.
clicking in and out.
Yeah.
But then, and because that wasn't your only one, right? Like you had like 4 or 5?
You know
Or
what?
was it-
That was like the dawn of my YouTube career. So that was way back. My first video, like my first two.
Okay, gotcha.
So and at that point, I wasn't thinking. I really didn't know what I was wanting to do with it. So, yeah. What was the question?
No. I thought you had more than just that one.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
I wanted to see, like, with that, I guess, with that platform of, talking about CNMI and all that. Like, what I'm trying to get at is, how did you transition then when you said that that's just the basic of everything? Because I know somewhere in between you had left, right?
I did.
To
I didn't start
Boise?
taking. I did, yeah, to
Okay.
Boise. I left. How it got to where it is now.
Yeah, where it is, because then we go back to you have a
Yeah.
personal channel
Yeah,
that
I
kind
do.
of
So that
was a little
the-
bit more
the
successful.
Genesis, yeah.
Okay, and then somewhere in there, K-pop.
Yeah,
came about, right?
I
Okay,
was,
sorry,
that was my
kind of
life.
scattered. Okay.
Yeah, Asian pop music. My personal channel, that's where everything sprouted from.
Okay.
Initially, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, and then it kind of fused itself to, at the time, my biggest obsession, which was Asian pop culture.
Okay.
So I talked about that for like 2 years. I did a bunch of reaction videos. I've grown out of it since then.
Okay.
But going back to how I got to this point now is, as you said, I moved to Boise.
Okay, wait,
Yeah.
real quick before we get off of the Asian
Yeah.
thing, because I
Okay.
want to point something out. I know somewhere down the line, did you get recognized by a K-pop band, or did they comment on something? Or did you feel, or I forgot what it was? Did you have content with them in it?
There was a time where I was being contacted. It wasn't K-pop, like it's so sad because K-pop was the one like genre that I really wanted to like make stuff for, but they never contacted me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
so, like,
someone else then.
yeah.
Okay.
But I did have videos where it was not sponsored because I wasn't paid, but like. Do you know Pentatonix?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did reaction
There,
videos
yes, okay.
of them, and people like love Pentatonix because they're
Yeah.
amazing. They're such an amazing a cappella group.
Yeah.
So I guess one of my videos got enough traction that the people from Pentatonix, like their marketing team, I guess, contacted me and asked me if I wanted to experience this VR.
There you go. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
their I forgot. Oh God. It was a Christmas video. It was really long ago, but it was a Christmas video, and it was really fun. So that was really cool. They sent me like a Galaxy S something
With the
VR.
goggles? Yeah,
And like
okay,
I
yeah,
got to use
that's the
it,
one.
so that was really cool.
Yeah, no, because I remember, because for me at least, and I'll be dead honest, after
Yeah.
your first couple of videos, I never really followed what you
Oh,
were
that's
doing.
fine. It's
Yeah,
a
no,
very
yeah.
acquired taste. Reaction videos are just very funny to begin with because you're literally just watching people watch videos.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like, what Inception stuff is this, you know?
Yeah. You know, I never got it, but it's effective, right? So I can't
people
knock
love it. People, I guess, people connect with the like if it's something that you really love, people connect with the enthusiasm they see you having watching something that they love. You know, I think that's where that comes from.
Okay, yeah, no, because like I said, I remember it was the first couple videos I seen. All I remember is you moved, and then my sister was like, "Oh shit, check it out, Mark. You know, got this sent to him, and he's doing this and that." And I just, you know, like for all I know, like that's fucking status, bro.
Thank
10
you.
years makes in motherfucking YouTube. Not a single thing has ever been sent to me. And this dude, like a couple years, you know. So okay. Well, anyways, I just wanted to make sure that was, you know, that was put into your story. So. Okay, so back to
everyone knows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, I just man, that was just hella cool, man. Fuck, I wish I had those good goggles, you know. But yeah, so from there, so then you go back to Boise, and then now.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, just to give a little like backstory and like preface to all this, it's like I don't know. At that point in my life, I was just very confused. Like I just didn't know where I was going, and like the opportunity to move to Boise came up, and I was like, why the hell not? You know, it's there. I'll have a place to stay. So I moved there, and it was I was there for a year, and it was a really good opportunity to just reflect. I spent that whole, like most of the time, like in my house, not doing anything, like in the snow. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was just really thinking about what I wanted to do with the rest of my life, and I was still working on my personal channel while I was there, but it was all just reaction videos, Asian pop culture videos, and you know, I started thinking, like I think 6 months in, that I probably wanted to come back, or I just knew that I didn't want to stay in Boise. No knocks to Boise, but it's just, you know, it's not my city. And I was like, but if I move, what am I gonna do? You know, and I kind of just out of nowhere, I think I was like literally laying in bed thinking about it, and all of a sudden I was thinking of like a video for my personal channel. And then I was like, why don't I just go home and make YouTube videos at home, because there's no market. There's no market here. And being in Boise, you know, it's just so different. It's pretty, I mean, well, depending on who you hang out with, because there's like a huge microcosm of Saipan in there. You know what I mean? And like, anyways, outside of that, it's just so the opposite. And I got to really appreciate everything that Saipan and the CNMI actually has to offer. You know, and if anything, just for being incredibly rich and diverse in the types of people that are here. You know, and you have experiences if you go out, you know what I mean? If you make the effort to do this.
Yes, definitely.
You meet a lot of really interesting people. So yeah, it came up.
So that was kind of the turning point then?
Yeah.
You were out there and it's like, shit.
Yeah.
I think I need to go back home and create content.
Exactly,
Were you following anyone? Because what was the transition between that, you know, all these reaction videos off of Asian culture, and then now, you know, now you want to represent home?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that transition is...
I don't know. I really don't. It was kind of like, it just developed on its own. And I don't know, I guess it comes with age, really. I was at a point where, you know, I wasn't... I was thinking more like of an adult, not necessarily acting like one, but thinking like one.
Okay.
And you know, I really felt an immense appreciation for home and for the people here, for my family, which is, you know, something, not that I didn't appreciate my home or my family when I was younger in my early 20s, but you just don't think about that stuff. You don't think of your roots as much
until you're gone.
Until you're gone, and then you really see like, wow, there's something very special here. And since I've moved back, and since I've been creating, you know, all my content, that's just been reassured with every single project that I do, is that there's so much, like I said, I'll just keep repeating, there's so much potential here. There's so much just opportunity, if not just, and maybe not in like the grand sense, like you can't, you know, you won't become or it's going to be pretty hard to become like a CEO or something, but like, just like little instances of having conversations with people like this podcast. You and I have sat together and like talked for hours. It seems like hours at all these family functions, you know, about art and stuff, and that's out there. Like we were filming a video at KHS the other week, and I had to. It was so awkward though, because I was like with high school kids, and I'm like, what do I talk to high school kids about? I don't know. I'm at that age where I have no idea what they like, so I'm just like, well, what do you think about the U.S. Congress? I don't know what to say, but I was talking to this one kid. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable calling them kids, but but one student. This one student, and he was telling me the project was like, I forgot what it was. How am I going to help my island? How am I going to make the Saipan better, the Sinamai better? And he said that he wanted to do it through art, and that made me like so excited. That was like, he's like, I want to. Possibly make my own brand and do all this stuff. And I was like, that's amazing.
Yes.
I think I scared him because I was like, that's so cool. And I was like, just this.
Let me just insert this.
Yeah.
Back to what I was saying. Like, I guess it's getting to a certain point to where it's like that.
Yeah.
Because, my generation, I don't, again, 37, it's always, the traditional go to school or military. Like, man, that's good to hear. I haven't heard that one yet.
Oh.
But to have someone see it like that, where, I want to work hard, and do something that's uncommon or untraditional.
No, definitely, and thanks to like the Trailblazers, he was talking about tribes, all the other brands that have been up, them providing that visual for them, seeing that is something that you can pursue, going back to the providing possibilities. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shedding light on possibilities.
What was the project for at KHS?
Can
you speak on it?
Oh, the one that we were filming?
Yeah.
Okay, we're actually making a series of videos in collaboration with MyPros and the $1 Million Scholars Program, which is amazing. All the work that I've been doing with them, I've really just been observing, because it's headed by G. Van Gales over at KHS. So we've just been following him around, seeing what they do, seeing how they help these kids.
Oh, so you're filming a documentary?
No, it's not necessarily a documentary. We're trying to... the whole premise of it is to help students realize what kind of opportunities they have. I know I just keep repeating myself, but it's just we're trying to help them with college prep and learning about financial aid, but in a fun and engaging way that's not like
Okay, gotcha.
Thank you, school counselor. But so that's what we're doing with them.
Okay.
That's why we're at KHS. So that's a upcoming series that we're working on, which should be going live pretty soon. We finished that video. It should be hopefully up within the next 2 weeks or so.
Oh, damn. Yeah. Okay, shit. Definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, it's very interesting going back to high school.
Okay. But anyway, so back to where the story left off. So you're in Boise. You're thinking you're going to come back. You're going to do this and that. Mm-hmm. So where did, is everything that you do, do you just get it offline, like your tutorials? As far as editing, angles, lighting.
Oh,
all
you
that
mean
stuff?
in terms of production?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean how I learned how to do all that.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm completely self-taught. YouTube is an amazing tool because you learn pretty much. Yeah. There's very little you can't learn on YouTube. I think, I guess becoming like a doctor, but I'm sure you could actually. You know what I mean? There's people who will probably brush up on that. You could learn, but I completely self-taught.
But did you have anyone? What's the word? Did you look up to anyone? Do you have any videographers or any YouTube personalities that you were like, let me get some vibes, good vibes off of this and see what I can create? Or get ideas off of this person and see if I could come on my own, something like that?
Not really, not in a consistent way where I'll look at them and I'll be like, oh, I like that, I'm going to put that in my video. Okay. There's definitely YouTubers and content creators that I love watching, but it's more so, it's 100% just for leisure. I don't, excuse me.
I see.
My God.
It's not for ideas?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's, I don't know, for me, I feel like it, there will be videos that I'll watch, but, and I'll like the setup. I don't really know how to explain the creative process of it, but there's certain ways in which they will, I guess, build their videos, as vague as that sounds. But I know it when I see it. You know what I mean? Okay. It's like, okay, that's something that I like.
I see.
But no, there's definitely YouTubers that I love watching and I look up to, but not in the sense that I want to follow what they do. Because for me, I don't know, this is kind of person I am. It's just I feel like if I watch someone who does the same kind of stuff that I do, it kind of clouds my own vision. You know, it kind of makes me think like, oh my gosh, should I get a drone? You know what I mean? It's like I kind of just want to. I have tunnel vision in a sense because. Is that?
Yeah, no, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, I know these mics are pretty sensitive.
Okay.
Yeah. Damn, that's pretty fucking loud.
Oh yeah,
too,
I thought that was. I was like, is there a thunderstorm? But where are we? About. See, that totally like blew away everything.
So you don't watch other videos because it clouds your vision your creativity.
It does. It kind of it makes me. Or I don't look at them specific. I don't go looking for stuff like that. That's not something that. If I could just be watching something and I'll be like, okay. That's cool. I want to try something like that, but I don't go looking for it.
I got you. Okay. So if you stumble upon it, that's what you're trying to say. Okay.
Exactly.
Damn, man. So that's cool. So everything is self-taught throughout the whole, the camera angles, what cameras to get, lighting, all that.
Completely.
Wow, that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Shit, that's what's up,
took
man.
a while as a process, but yeah.
How long did it take you to? Wait, how many years in are you right now? Would you say?
In
Inception.
total, it's about 5. I started in 2014, but being really serious about it didn't happen until like 2016. So in total, like if we're just focusing on when I'm really, really trying to build my craft is like 3 years.
3 years,
yeah.
I see. Okay. Damn, man. Okay. Yeah. And then how much time would you say you spent on, like, really learning the process of everything, like all together? Maybe like a good year. Less?
Yeah, I mean, I was learning as I went on.
Oh, okay,
so
gotcha.
If you look at my earlier videos, or at least I can pick up on this really like quickly. It's just like, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Like, I don't know. But then you can see the progression of my videos. At least I think We670 is a little bit more difficult to do this because I was at a point right there, at that point where I felt really confident or somewhat confident with videography. But if you look at like my personal channel, if you look at my older videos compared to my newer videos, you can see that it's just like very sporadic in what I thought I liked and you know what I thought looked good and what sounded good.
Yeah, you know it's cool because I feel like too. The homie Frank was the one that shed light on this.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. I know I keep talking about you in every podcast, but yeah, he's gonna be on this eventually. Yeah, but you know he was saying that it like almost immortalizes the progression because you know if you leave it up because he was speaking about he did 3 different podcasts with the same person, and it shows his progression. Yeah. And I feel like it's the same thing with my music, you know, and then now with your content, you know, like you could almost go back and appreciate it. You could almost go back and check it out to appreciate it more, and that's what I see myself doing too.
Definitely, yeah.
And that's why you should have left those videos
I know. I'm so mad.
You don't have it anywhere?
I don't think so.
Think,
that was so long ago.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I don't know. I probably would be. I think I'd be embarrassed. I'm very.
Shit,
I've only recently become like my recent videos. I feel like I can watch myself on camera and I'm okay. But if I have earlier stuff, like I get so cringy. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah,
why
I
are
guess
you
I can see
doing
that
that?
happening too. But it would be cool too to you know.
I mean like
laugh at too.
See how I've grown. But still, I don't know. It's one of my things. It's just weird.
Yeah. That's cool. But so you moved back from Boise and you just start from there with all the knowledge you got, all this. Were you do you think you were like planning it? Was the planning stages pretty intense when you were in Boise coming here, or
the plan?
Like
I was leaving Boise with the whole outline in my mind and the determination to see it through. Like when I came back, did I look for a job? Trying to think.
Well, yeah.
I don't think I did. No.
Okay.
I was like, this is what I'm going to be doing. Like this is going to be my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So that's I went in. The difference between this and the initial blossoming of my personal channel is that I came in with a plan. Like I came in with a whole structure of what I wanted to show, and even given that, like it's nothing what I thought it was gonna be like right now. Because originally the idea was for me to take a lot more of a back seat and like be more of the producer as opposed to be in front of the camera.
Oh, I see. So you're gonna have like a host or something?
Yeah, I wanted to have a bunch of different people come on, but I mean, I don't know, I guess people are still a little apprehensive about being on camera because to find people to come and willingly, want to do like segments is not as hard, but harder in. No, what am I saying? It's a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, and then it kind of just was like I can't wait for people. Like if I'm gonna make this, I have to go in front of the camera and do it myself. So
I see.
Yeah.
So and you have a co-host.
Yeah,
correct?
Ashley. Hey, Ashley. I don't know what you're doing right now.
Actually, yeah. Oh, man, I guess I'll contact you. I heard she makes like what do you call it?
Flower crowns.
Yeah, flower crowns. Okay, yeah, I definitely
she's
want to.
quite an earth goddess with that.
Yeah. Gian was telling me about it. Yeah, I definitely want to get her on. But
beautiful Pualani crown.
Yeah.
Check her out on Instagram.
Yeah. She'll get her chance. No.
For any occasion. Yeah.
But it's pretty tight, all the stuff. Anyways, but so you get her as a co-host.
Yeah.
Was she in the planning throughout?
No, she was not. See, it's kind of just like going with the flow, really. Because what happened? Ashley came in she modeled for like some promotional stuff that we did in the very, very beginning. But then the first video that we really were in a partnership was the $100 gift challenge video that we did, I think last year around Christmas time.
Okay.
That's when and then we just realized that we had a really good dynamic because me and her are really opposite in our personalities. Like I'm incredibly introverted. I'm just like, no, like, I want to stay in my bedroom. But Ashley's like the complete opposite, and she's so engaging, and she can talk to anybody. She's the kind of person that if she's walking down I'll be walking down the street with her, and she'll be like, hi, to like the people passing. I'm like, don't do that. What are you doing that for?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but no, she's very good for me, very good for the channel. She she brings a very wonderful energy to everything that we do. So she's not here though, but like,
that's cool.
So I'm taking one. I'm trying to hold it up by myself.
But where the ideas behind the videos though, is that your ideas or is it a combination? Okay.
I don't know. See, I'm trying to become a more, I guess, team-oriented worker, because I've always hated like group projects in school. I'm like, no, I don't trust you to get all this done. But as of right now, it's still majority like 95% me. We have one cameraman, Adrian. He's awesome. I don't know how I did anything without him before.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, as of right now, everything is pretty much 95% comes from like my.
Wait, so you have a cameraman now?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
shit! I didn't know that, because before you just posted.
No, it's just me holding my arm out, which I'm so glad I don't have to do as much now.
But you would tripod some of your shots.
Yeah,
as
I would
well.
have some tripods, but there's just so much to think about when you're in front and behind the camera, because it's like you have to think about how do I look in front of the camera, but at the same time you're like, okay, is the audio on? Is the microphone on? You know what I mean? Is the light shifting that I have to like turn out or decrease the what do you call it?
On your camera?
Yeah, aperture. Aperture. All this stuff. There's just so many things. There's so many, pots to be watching. When you're.
That's very good. Dude, that's why I got Meeks, bro.
I know. See, this would be so hard if it was just you.
Show some appreciation to the whole.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Your team. I have to say, you're.
Because I'm learning that now too. With Meeks on board. When I was creating content with. My Cypher series, you're right. Even because I'd be rapping it, I'd be doing the audio, and I'd be doing the filming. Yeah. So like, it'll be 5 minutes of just shit.
Yeah.
So turning everything on, you know what I'm saying? I'm clapping, getting everyone. And it's crazy because with the music side of things, it if someone messes up, we got to redo the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
So it's like,
man,
it's crazy.
That must be.
But so the content that you have on that, you said it was all your ideas, yeah?
Yeah,
and
pretty much.
Pretty much?
And like 95% of it.
Yeah. Okay, and you always talk about, so you had this plan in mind throughout. So were things going as planned? Was it as easy or as hard as you were thinking? Or like what were the major challenges?
One of the major the biggest is being like self-employed, because in the beginning it's kind of just like, well, I can put this off. So it really was just finding or trying to develop that kind of discipline, which I still really struggle with now.
Okay.
It was just learning how to I guess like self-start and keep motivated, because I wasn't getting paid at all in the beginning. You know, I wasn't making any money. You just have to go literally on faith. You have to go 100% on your own confidence that this is going to work out. So it was that was definitely the biggest thing, because there are times where I'm just like, should I just go? Should I go work at KMCV? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is that KMCV? I don't know why I'm thinking
KSPN.
KSPN.
Yeah.
Was it called that before? Sorry, we're gonna get off track. But that I was gonna think working at the TV station.
Okay.
But yeah, so it really was. It's just trying to stay focused and trying to make sure that you're treating it as a job, that you're treating it as a livelihood, as a means of livelihood. You know. Yeah.
Okay. Damn. Nice. But then later on, you started. I know you started getting hired for projects, correct?
Yes.
How long until that started?
Hired in the sense that I'm like creating videos for other people, or
did you had something with the fire department?
That fell through.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, projects. Along those lines.
I was doing like custom videos for other people,
okay.
But that was just not working out.
No.
Yeah.
What was they didn't want to pay you, or
no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, not no disrespect to any of the people that I worked with. It's every project that I've had has been easy in the sense that they give you support when you need it. It's just that when it comes to creativity, it's a very hard thing to measure, and it's a very subjective thing.
Yeah.
So when I would have clients that would come to me and they're like, just do this, you know, we want this, and I'm like, okay, you're giving me creative control. You're giving me, you're allowing me to film what I think is nice. And they're like, yeah, just do that. It's fine. It's great. And then I'll create something that's really, I think is awesome. You know, I'm like, oh my God, how can you not love this? And then I'll show it to them. They're like, well, can we have this? And I'm like, well, I asked you.
No.
Why?
No, because I'm not gonna say any names, but I know.
Okay.
No, I know you worked for. Personally, I don't give a shit. Okay, but you worked for one of my friends. I'm not gonna say who it is, but I remember someone showing me this video.
Yeah.
And I seen it. I was like, "Fuck, dude, this is solid," you know. And then I seen his side, you know.
Yeah.
And let me see. I don't want to give away too much, but the argument was it wasn't tourist friendly. It was more on the local side or something like that. And I'm thinking like, "Fuck, bro, this is a fucking solid."
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but yeah, no, I get what you're saying though. Yeah. And what Meeks is talking about those, we have some of those issues too, where it's like the creativity side, like you said, is very subjective.
Yeah,
man.
and it hardly ever really lines up where you want it to.
Exactly, yeah.
You know?
And like, I feel like, so, you know, if you're a commercial, let's just say it's for Safe House, which is where we're at, by the way. Shouts out to them.
Shout out to
Like if they hire, right, and they say the goal is to pack this place.
Yeah.
And they're giving you, 100% creativity. Like, I feel like if we reach the goal, it should be fine.
Yeah.
And then,
definitely.
you know, and back to, my story with, how you worked for a friend. I feel like if it packs, it should be good.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
And you know what's funny? The funny thing, you're bringing up this issue about what you're doing. I'm thinking, because on the musician side, the issue is always, hey, it's all cousin this, cousin that, party this, whatever, discount, free, this and that. Do you run into those situations as well?
I mean, do I?
Yeah.
Not really anymore. I mean, and I love my family, but like,
no.
The thing
Okay,
is,
wait,
like,
hold on. Let's make this clear.
Yeah.
Okay, the argument isn't about whether we love our family
No,
or
it's
not.
not, but I want
just
everyone
make that
to
one clear
know.
too. Yeah, you're not defending.
Like,
that.
oh my God, he's talking about his mother. But no, because God bless them, but a lot of people in any creative field, I feel like people on the outside don't realize the amount of work and the amount of time, effort, all these things that you're putting in to create this. All they see is the finished product. They're like, oh, it's amazing. So like there was a point where my family would always ask like, oh, we're going to your uncle's niece's birthday tomorrow. Can you make a video for them? And I'm like, no. Are you gonna pay me? Like unless you want like a really shitty video, like it's literally just like camcorder me walking around. But at the same time, it's just like, I get that, like with the freebie, like they don't appreciate, or they don't appreciate, but they just don't understand or they don't take into account that you are like putting your blood, sweat, and tears in all of this, you know?
Yeah.
It's like I'm sacrificing a part of myself
Yeah.
for my work. It's not like a...
Yeah, no, exactly. Because what I always like to say is that, the one thing you could never get back is time.
Yeah.
So however long that takes, you know what I'm saying, like, should be accounted for. And then on top of that, it's the equipment.
Yeah.
Like they feel your camera just came out of nowhere, or this laptop just came out of nowhere, so I could record whoever, me on the music side, It's like, damn, man, we all gotta eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's help each other out. Yeah. But that's
absolutely.
Crazy. But back to what I was saying, like, and that's another reason, or that's another thing too out here. Like, I feel personally that thought or that mentality is slowly shifting.
I hope so.
Yeah, or I don't know if it's the same with you, but like, they're not so hesitant to pay no more. Like, I remember before where they'll just ask, hey, can you record me? And leave it at that. Where now they'll be like, hey, how much would it be if you did this? You know what I'm saying?
That's great. That should be
at least
on
my
question.
side. At least for me. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's just funny that, no matter what the other, even with hosting, there's all these other fields. But out here, it's always, I guess that's the first step, is to see if they could get it for free. And if not, that's where the negotiations start.
I mean, I guess if you don't ask, the answer is always no. But, like, it's majority not going to be no that, like, in this field. But, and the thing about that is, like, I feel that people offer something. If you can't pay, like, be like, what can I do? What is worth, in lieu of monetary payment, what can I do that will make you compelled and motivated to make this video for me, or make this song for me?
Swap services.
I mean, like, we're not doing handouts here.
It's
but
it's so tough
soup
though.
Kitchen.
It's not the soup kitchen.
It's not.
Yeah, but it's crazy though that culture out there, or our culture,
which is
like,
great.
it's tough.
I understand that. I understand like it's you look out for us because they would. I mean, like, I'm sure it goes in other ways too. Like if I could go, I'm sure I could go to a lot of people and be like, can you do this for me? And they would, because that's just the culture we look out for. We look out for our own. But it's like, well, this is business.
Well, I always say, like, man, you support me now.
Yeah.
Later on in the future, I'll be in a better position to help more and help you more. To where now you're free and now we're both helping others. But I always thought that that would be, or sometimes that's like the rise and fall. Is how much of this owner, how much is he an entrepreneur and how much is he cultural, I feel like whoever it is needs to find that balance. And I'm glad that
absolutely.
Now the consumers are understanding that, or at least in my opinion, that's how I feel, at least, is that I see more people willing to pay and willing to buy. Unlike what it was, not like 5-6 years ago, it was all about the freebies and, Bar, let me help you, I'll promote it for you.
How?
Exactly, But
I think
crazy.
Also it's because we have a lot more people doing great work, and they recognize that.
Shit.
So like, or I feel like people are just, people see like things that, because if the market isn't saturated and you only have like one or two options, it's really sad because it allows the businesses to slack off. You know what I mean? It's like, well, it's this or
not
nothing.
Keeping them on their toes.
So like when people see that there are other people, creating awesome content, creating awesome music, doing something well, like doing something skillfully, they'll pay for it because they know even if they get it cheaper over there, it's going to be shitty work. You know what I mean?
Definitely,
So, another testament to our people in the islands. And,
No, it's cool. I think we're all on the same page when it comes to that. But so you started getting paid for all these small commercials and stuff. But then now, is it? I mean, you get paid now because you're sponsored.
Yeah, I get paid to make my own videos.
Nice.
So
man.
so that's great.
How long did that take, and how did all that come about?
Well, in the beginning, initially when I was like around really 500 subscribers, I started. Well, shout outs to Marianas Variety and Lila Boyer, because she really, her and her team have really helped foster us and help us to become what we are now. They've always been such a great support in not just monetary wise, but in creativity and projects. They're always willing to just go with the flow. They're not. It's not micromanaged. But we started talking, I think a year and a half ago, about, creating content and everything, and it just developed into a sponsorship situation where they give us, they help fund our videos and we help promote what they're doing. And if I can just plug in,
Go for it.
you know, follow them. They're on Facebook, Marianas Variety News and Views, and on Instagram at mvariety670. So there you go. You're getting your money's worth.
No, definitely. You know that's. Since you touched on it, let me just say something. That's what I want this to be all about. Is plugging all the local stuff.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah, so definitely, man, whoever you think of, just go ahead and plug them. Yeah.
In that case, going back to and then Pacifica Insurance, I was at a point where I had enough because I didn't want to go in with like 2 videos and be like, oh, give me money, you know. I was at a point where I felt like, okay, you know, I'm getting traction. I'm making good work. So I started soliciting other businesses that I would want to work with. And Pacifica Insurance was one of them, and Shirley and Samantha over at Pacifica Insurance, everyone there, they've been in the same way, so helpful, just very encouraging. Just everything that we do is it's such an easy process working with them. So there are 2 main sponsors right now. It's Marianas Variety and Pacifica Insurance Underwriters. They also have a Facebook.
Okay, go for it.
Pacifica Insurance Underwriters Inc. and Pacifica Insurance on Instagram, so definitely check them out. Yeah,
hey, who knows? I might have them in here too, telling the flip side of it. Yeah,
absolutely. No, there's such. I definitely want to stress the fact that the team at M Variety and the team at Pacifica are so. They're so open. You know, they're not in this kind of loop of, oh, we've always done this way. They're all about change and development and evolution, and it makes it such a joy to work with them because they're never like, well, I don't know if I don't know, why would you do something like that? It's always just like, okay, let's try it, let's do it. You know what I mean? And it's
cool.
It's such a comforting system to have.
Yeah, because I almost feel like it makes you get even more creative.
Yeah,
like try out a whole lot.
Absolutely,
different things.
Like how do you promote insurance? You know what I mean?
Man. Talk about, so you touched on it a little bit. You were at 500 subscribers at one point, and you guys are now at 1,000.
We're at 1,048, I believe.
Oh shit! Okay. And you guys just posted up something with Pacifica being the sponsor.
We did. Well, we just did.
Can you put that up?
This. Okay. I'll. This is.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our 1,000 subscribers Q&A. But we did do a commercial, it was a custom commercial for Pacifica because we love them and we will make the exception to make custom stuff for them. Okay. So they're celebrating their 45th anniversary, you know, helping serve the island and its people. So that was our commercial that we did, which is another
the black
thing.
and white one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
that one makes when you get a chance.
Yeah. So
that one was sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to Adrian too, our cameraman, who was such a big help on that one.
Adrian's your cameraman?
Yeah, Adrian Tancoy? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, see,
okay.
he's so popular. He's more popular than I am. Whenever we go on shoots, they're all like, hey, Adrian. And I'm like, hey. Yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, shit. Okay, damn, we got to get on that.
Yeah. No, he's really good.
Dive into this one, right?
Yeah, so.
That one?
Yeah. This one I think is the full one. Because there's one that's just like a 1 minute, but there's one where you swipe and
okay.
Because it's a one. If you want,
is it on YouTube?
It's on the Pacifica Facebook, so.
Oh, there's Pentatonix. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's.
Dude, because that, man, I remember seeing your stories first before the video came out.
Yeah.
And dude, was there a budget on that one?
I mean, we got paid. Well, I mean, they.
Okay,
yeah.
Dude, it just looked hella sick, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Joe 10 Motors too for providing that 370Z. Yeah, thank you so much.
The outfit you guys had on?
No, see, that's another thing. Pacifica really helped out with that. They're like, what do you need? And they just made it happen. So.
Okay.
Yeah, and the initial commercial itself wasn't in at least in the construction sense wasn't that hard because it was all just at one location, two locations at the beach and in a house. So it wasn't. I'm glad that you
complicated?
think. Yeah, I'm glad that you were asking what the budget was because like.
Yeah, well, I mean, compared to the other commercials that you made, I feel like that one was, really. Like, I don't know, just everything about it, man.
Yeah.
The music that you had, the fact that it was black and white.
Yeah,
and then that gets me to the next one. Who's creative? Who created that? Like, whose creative mind was that? Yours?
That was mine.
Oh, damn. So then you even pick out the angles? Is that what you...
The angles, no. When it comes to filming with my cameraman, I kind of just let him know what I want. Like I'm just like get a shot of this, but how he executes that is up to him.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so I let him know like, okay, I want a shot of us coming down in the car. I want a shot of us walking from the back. So he has a really, really good eye, and I trust him to do make his magic.
And you did all the posts to that? Damn, bro, we keep running into this, huh?
Yeah.
I think you just have to log in, bro.
Oh no.
Hey, then come Saturday night, no, someone's checking the history. No, but the shit, dude, lost my train of thought on that one.
Talking about the commercial.
Yeah. No, so you created that whole thing and got that going. How long are you the only one that does post as well?
I am. I'm the one.
Shit.
Yeah. I do
Okay,
everything.
yeah. So,
besides what Ashley and Adrian do,
Uh-huh.
I do everything else.
Okay. No.
Yeah.
So Adrian just basically films it. You take care of posts.
Yeah.
throughout.
I do the editing, the posting. Adrian takes photos sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. So what's the what do you call that? Does he have his own like IG and all that?
He does. It's ABC Tankoi on Instagram. Check him out.
You got it?
throwing
Okay,
in all these.
Yeah.
plugs.
No, man. That's cool
Yeah.
because honestly, I didn't know he fucking existed, man. Sorry.
Yeah. No.
Adrian.
The thing is, like,
I only heard of what's that? DNR has been the ones
Yeah.
that that I've heard about.
He's not a business. Like he's not he's not a business though.
Oh,
he's just
okay, I see.
a person
Freelance?
freelance.
Oh, okay,
that I
gotcha.
hire. Yeah.
I see.
So.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And then also, man, wait, before we go on, I remember too you filmed something for your birthday.
Yeah,
dude,
yeah,
that
I
was
did.
crazy. You know what I'm talking about,
That
me?
was great. I
No,
love
wait, just
yeah.
go to his Instagram, man.
yeah.
So
That's on my YouTube.
okay. Yeah, maybe
my
pull that one
birthday
up.
video.
Your-
That's gonna be right there. This one, the second one. Oh, that's weird. Okay.
Why is it weird?
It's just weird watching myself.
Oh, dude, you know it's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Same here. I don't
It's
like
just
watching. and
oh
listening
my
to myself.
god.
Remember this?
Yeah.
Hey, first off though, this is the dude's house. Just get that
Oh my
one out of
God.
there. Damn, look at that.
Yeah.
And those are all your friends, yeah?
Yes.
Helping out
Thank you
with this one?
to everyone who know who you are in this video. But yeah.
So who is this? Adrian again?
No, this is another cameraman that we work with, Austin Barcinas.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you know Austin, yeah? So yeah, so he was working.
What the fuck? I told you guys this long. Okay, all right, hold on, later, okay. No, so this one too, the creativity was yours again?
I love American Horror Story Coven. That's
Okay.
the third season. It's all about witches and witchcraft. So that was the theme of my birthday.
I see. Okay.
That's why you have all like the big hats and black and stuff. Which
I
is,
see.
oh, there you go. Look, it's gonna pop up. But yeah.
Oh, okay. But when you what do you call that? The cameramen you work with, bro, they're hitting all those shots that you vision. Like I just don't see like. Okay, do you always go back on it?
I do.
Oh, okay,
I mean,
gotcha.
for the most, I mean, when it's something like that where it's so specific, because I knew that was personally for me, you know what I mean? So I knew exactly. I was like, I want it to be exactly like this. And there's times where I will micromanage a little bit, considering like if we need to like get a, promote a product or whatever. Like I need to make sure that this is this is the correct angle and stuff. Oh God.
Yeah, no. This is so, wait, hold on. Before we go on,
It's okay. Like it's fine. I mean, it's.
No,
but-
what's funny? I remember talking to you when
Yeah.
we do have our little sessions, and you were saying too that you're more comfortable in front of the camera like that than you are like this kind of. Someone filming
because,
you.
because I know that I can edit it. You know what I mean? So if
okay, I
I'm
see.
weird or like. Not being weird is bad, but like if I mess up or something, like I know I'm like, okay, it's fine, I can edit out. But when it's like this and it's like continuous, I'm just like, oh crap,
shit.
I can't hide. You know what I mean? It's gonna be up close and real up close and personal. Yeah.
Damn, nice. So what's is there a goal in mind? Like, are you trying to reach somewhere, or are you just trying to make
Yes.
content and see where it takes you?
In terms of We670?
Yes, in terms of We670.
Yes, there's a definite goal there. I of course want to get a boatload of subscribers. I mean,
Okay.
I really want it to be self-sustaining. I want it to be making and generating enough money to support myself and my team. But that's the business side of things. But the way that I think that I'm going to get there is to, I always say that the main goal of what we do, every video that we do, is to connect people. And we connect them through a shared appreciation of the CNMI. So that can be felt by someone who's from here, someone who visited here, someone who just watches it from, in Arizona or something. So that's the main goal. I want it to be relatable across the board.
I see.
And that's the goal for the content, and then in the spiritual sense. And then, when we're talking about numbers and visibility and audience retention, I really, really want to conquer Asia. I really want to be big in Japan. I really want to be big in Korea, Hong Kong, everywhere. I want us to be all over there. And have people come
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, more so almost in a sense educating them about our lifestyle. Yeah. Kind of like that, yeah. Yeah. Let me just point this out. We were watching your Rhoda video while we were waiting. Yeah. And what I didn't know your videos did to people was for Meeks, it gave him the opportunity to learn a little bit more about Rhoda. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh, shit. Before, I'm looking more so on the entertainment, just to see how your experience was. Yeah. But, with him, he was, really checking out the sites, and, oh, shit, that's Rhoda?
I know, Rhoda's amazing. Yeah. Shout out to Rhoda, man, because it is just, it's to describe it, or the way I think of it is, our mysterious younger sister that moved away. Rhoda's just really captivating.
And you touched on it a little bit. I don't know what the exact quote was, but they are, how I always see it is they keep it more a little bit more pure than the other islands. And a lot of people know I'm from Tinian, and I have a lot of pride in that. But but why I love Rhoda so much now is because growing up in the 90s on Tinian, that's how I see Rhoda now. Yeah. And not a knock on them. Dude, that is the island life that a lot of people envision. No, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. That's I look at the way we really take it for granted here. The fact that so many people want to live the way that we live, and especially in Tinian, especially in Rhoda, because that's you are in tune with the earth. You know what I mean?
That's the island.
That you have to learn to. I think it can go one of two ways. You have to learn to love it, or you'll just always be disappointed. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it's really sad that when people don't learn to love it, because there's so much And the people, my gosh, the people in Rhoda were just so incredibly, it was kind of jarring in a sense, because I'm like, oh my God, everyone's so nice, and I'm people wave on the road.
Yeah, I saw that part of it.
Everyone waves on the road, and I was like, oh my God, I feel like such a jackass because I didn't wave.
But, by the way, it's a little off subject. Yeah. So for y'all that don't know, Mark is actually my nephew.
Yes, I am.
His mom and myself are first cousins.
Yay, nepotism.
So, but what I was gonna get back to is, that my grandfather, your great grandfather, grew up there. Okay.
They're from Rhoda.
Yeah,
We're not
and
really
we still
from
have.
Tinian.
Hey.
Oh shoot, sorry.
No, you're right though. You're right, because I don't want to get into it, but he eventually moved to Tinian. But man, we still got family over there that and even with them, I always enjoy visiting them. And what's crazy is I would go there little spurts, 3 days here, 2 days there, whatever. Yeah. And then I got to know the people more and more. And I swear, the first time I ever went to Rhoda, I probably only paid for 2 meals, and I was there for almost 5 days. 4.5 days. And it was just so crazy because I always heard about it. Never experienced it. And what I should have done is kind of like what you did, just kind of documented it, because it's just so crazy to hear. And in my mind, at least, is there's no way in hell people are that nice. Fuck that.
I think because
holy shit, bro.
You're that isolated though, so it's kind of just you. Because then I don't know. I think you would really stand out if you weren't that nice. And
damn, that's so true.
You would be like, oh my God, that guy's such an asshole.
Yeah, that's a good way of thinking about it. Yeah.
Whether it's I don't know, but there's a lot of I also feel a lot of sincerity too. That's very good. They're nice, but it's a very
they're not clout chasing.
Yeah, it's just it's coming from their heart, and they really do want to give you food. You know what I mean? It's not oh God, we only had enough for like 5 people, but here, you know what I mean? It's like they want
so
to
true.
do that.
You know, one thing my mom always said was that in Rhoda they don't offer you to eat.
Yeah.
They usually make you a plate, and it happened.
It's
and
just
it was
there.
just like, oh shit, okay, these guys know my diet.
Exactly.
It seemed like the portions were proper too.
Yeah.
They knew I needed 3 plates.
I know. They know how to get down.
Yeah, they know how to put. You know how high my mom is.
Really good hosts.
But yeah, man, how long did you stay there for?
Only for a day. We were only there.
Oh, that was all for a day?
Yeah, this is Rhoda in 24 hours. So,
shit.
Yeah.
Guess I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, it's in the title.
Okay, yeah. Oops. Oh shit.
But yeah.
Please, come on, man. You're supposed to be watching for shit like this, man. All right. That's cool, man. So I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Yeah.
Is there gonna be one on Tinian?
Of course.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I love Tinian.
Okay.
I love all of our neighboring islands. Well, the ones that I've been to, but like you know what I mean. I love. There's something very. The thing, and not to knock Saipan, you know, I love Saipan too. But the thing about Tinian and Rhoda, what I love about them is that it's so definitively an island. It's so definitively island life. Like you're there, like in in nature. Saipan, I feel like doesn't know what it wants to be. Does it want to be island? Does it want to be city?
Chinese.
Yeah, it's like there's not enough of both.
No, it does. I'm sorry, it's not enough of.
There's not enough of either one. There's not enough of city. There's not enough of island to make it, you know, either
to pick,
one.
Really,
it's kind of balanced out. So you're kind of just like, oh, but when you go to Tinian, it's like, oh, I feel like it's just a great place to meditate. You know.
Oh, okay, I see.
Or like just really be.
Dude, well,
away.
I mean, the fiestas this weekend. Fuck, man, I don't know. Y'all can get
I
some.
know, I heard, but I'm just like, I'm actually leaving to the States.
Shit.
On the 7th, so I have so much to edit and like I would love to though, like man. Okay. If I was leaving later, I would totally go. Okay. Tinian, please host us.
Well, yeah, man, this would have been cool, but yeah, maybe later on down the line. And that was that your latest video for We 670?
Yes, we had the Q&A, the 1,000 subscribers Q&A, but before that, the real like content is the Rhoda video. Okay,
because then I saw too on I believe it was your personal page, your latest video. I want to say it was your latest.
That
video.
was on We 670.
That was on We 670.
I made it a point to put that on We 670.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about already. Just so I don't mess up what it's about. Yeah. Go ahead, because in my opinion, it was a very sensitive subject. Yeah. Pretty intense. You know, we spoke about this earlier. You know, with one of our uncles. Yeah. What he went through, and you know, again from the outside looking in, you know, I guess I just didn't see it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, so, if you're not looking out for it, you're not gonna see it.
Yeah. And it was just kind of we're family. And I didn't know that this issue was going on. So I felt like a dumbass one. Yeah. But then two, after watching it, I felt a whole lot more educated. Yeah. So
I'm glad. I'm glad that that's the impression.
Yeah. So I mean, anyways, go ahead and just speak
so
on it.
So basically, what Uncle Josh is saying is, I made a video recently on We 670 on our Facebook page and on our IGTV that brushed up on two experiences that I had earlier on this week, which was one, we were filming. And the people watching us film were making comments about, I don't know. I really don't know. I wasn't aware that it was happening. Someone told me after the fact, but I guess that they were questioning like, oh, is he gay? Something like that. Being not
obnoxious
the nicest people. Yeah.
Okay.
And that really was. I mean, that wasn't a problem. That's something that is blatantly obvious. I don't know why you have to ask. But
okay.
Like, okay, you don't have to really play detective here. But
Mix, can you pull that one up real quick? Sorry. I don't know which one. Is it on Facebook?
It's on my face. It's on the We 670 Facebook.
Oh shoot, and we're having that issue. Yeah. Okay. No matter.
Or you can go to our IGTV. It's on our IGTV as well, if you can access that.
Yeah.
It's on. Just go to our Instagram page and go to our IGTV tab.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, sorry about
that.
Yeah,
no problem.
Go ahead.
So
they're saying stuff on the side.
Yeah, they're like making remarks
should be obvious
or something.
Already,
yeah, and I was like, it's not. I mean, I've been dealing with that like my whole life, because it's if you're not, like I said in the video, if you're not gonna say it to my face, like a big whoop, you're really funny behind my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that happened, and I really brushed it off. But then I had this conversation with my friend like a couple of days later, and he was talking about how he had this encounter with another person, and the question of sexuality or a person's sexuality came up, and it was is he gay, lesbian, whatever, XYZ, and the person just got really just automatically got so angry and so offended. They're like yelling and being like, yeah, you know what you're talking about, and for me, I was just like, what really stuck out in my mind, I'm like, why would you react to, unless I brush up on this too, it depends on how you ask the question, because there's people can be assholes and ask it like, you know, but if in general, it's like, it's just like, do you like, what do you like? Yeah. And I have a real problem with people thinking that it's an offensive question, because it's not. I think it's definitely tied when we can go like hours and hours into how being gay is often associated with being feminine, and then feminine is thought of as being not good if you're not a woman. You know what I mean? Just all these psychological things. Shit, but I was just very taken aback by the reaction of that, and once again, it wasn't, or not once again, but it had nothing to do with me, but I've been thinking for a long time, there are LGBT, obviously, LGBTQ people, citizens here in Saipan, and a lot of them, might be high schoolers, middle schoolers, who live in an environment that is not supportive, I don't know if I should talk about this, but no. But there's a point that I want to bring up where, we live in a majority Catholic community, and they don't have the best track record when it comes to supporting LGBTQ people. I've been in the church when they basically condemn us, like I don't think they've said, we're gonna go to hell. We're not like one of those Baptist churches, but like. I distinctly remember there was a thing, and this actually wasn't here, but I've experienced sermons like this in Saipan, but this was in Hawaii, and in Hawaii they were trying to pass a civil unions bill, which basically meant that same-sex couples will be recognized by the government as in a union. It wasn't even marriage. Like they didn't even say it was. It's like give us scraps, please. Like they won't even call it marriage. So. They were trying to get this bill passed, and we were in church because that's what good, Chamorro people do. Okay. And we were listening to the guy in the pulpit talking about civil unions, and he was saying that, people might say that this is discriminatory and hateful, but I don't remember his exact words, but he insinuated the fact that God and religion and the Bible are compelling you to do it regardless. Oh. Yeah. And for me, thank God I have such a great support system. Like my family is very, very, very supportive. But I know that there's so many people here who don't have that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'm like, going back to the video, it's like, that happened to me, and I don't care. But there are kids out there who that happens to. Mm-hmm. And, there's people who that might happen to. There's people who will get questions like that and not know how to react, and to have that kind of behavior in this environment for it would be so different if we were a metropolitan city. You know what I mean? Because I wouldn't think of it as that pressing, because I'm like, we live in Seattle, we live in LA. You can go out and see other people who are vibrant, lively, wonderful LGBTQ role models, But we don't really have that here. Yeah. You don't have, going back to showing possibilities, you don't have a full view of the world. Mm-hmm. So to know that, and to know that kids will look at that, kids will sit in church and they will hear things like that and not talk to their parents because they think that their parents will not love them. Yeah. Damn. Yeah, it's getting a little real right now. Okay. Yeah. Oh, no. I mean, if anything, I want people to know that it really means a lot to me, because, that really that's something that really resonates with me. Because I've always felt, even not just being LGBTQ, not being a open gay man, I've always just felt awkward, out of place, and it's a very difficult position to be in when you're not ever part of the majority, But it makes it even worse when, you live in an environment that's just completely not not nurturing to any of that. So I really identify with the outsider. I really identify with outcasts.
Yeah,
I really
yeah.
identify with people who feel like they don't have any support, or not that I didn't have it, but like I understand where that comes from.
I see.
You know, I've seen it. So keep veering back. But,
no, it's fine. You know,
I felt very compelled to make that video because I was like, it's enough. Like enough is enough. We're in 2019.
Yes.
We have a very hot and heated political climate right now, but regardless of that, it's just like it's 2019. This is ridiculous. You cannot keep acting that way. You cannot keep treating people like as lesser humans because of things that they can't control, and then that goes across the board. I really wanted to talk, and I think that really applies to so many situations here in Saipan, because like I brushed up on this in the video as well. Like people will, I don't know, hold it against you, hold certain things against you because you're different or you're not of them. You know what I mean? The video is called "Dedicated to the Others" because that's who you're, the other. You're not them. You know what I mean? You're them. You're not us. So going back to it, it's really applicable to so many situations here because there's a common thread in Saipan. There's a common, I don't know how to phrase it, but there's a culture. There's a culture here.
Okay.
And if you don't adhere to that culture like fully, you stand out so much.
Yes.
You know what I mean? No matter what that is, if you're gay, if you like to,
if you don't like to help at parties,
if you don't like barbecue, like to go to the beach, which I don't like to go to the beach. You know what I mean? It can feel like the crucifixion happening, but like there's just so many instances. One thing that really stands out to me is that I've had conversations with people where I'll be like, I'll be like, where are you from, or like something like this, and they'll say like, let me reference a specific situation, because I met this guy and I was like, I've never seen you around before, like, you know, are you from here? And he's like, oh no, I'm not a local. And I'm like, oh, like, where are you from? And he's like, oh no, I grew up here, but I'm not Chamorro, so I'm not a local. You know what? I'm not a local. And I was like, that's so sad. That was so sad to me that he thought that. You know what I mean? You grew up here. Like, this is the life that you know. Like, you know, this is your home, and you don't feel like you can call yourself a local. You know what I mean? It makes me very sad to know that there are situations like that where people can be so out of place in a place where they should feel completely grounded. You know,
because they've been here all their life.
Yeah, I was like, what is that about? Like, what is that about? But going back to the video, I feel like people, if anything, the whole purpose of that was to let people know, like, you're okay. Like, don't.
Like, they're not alone.
Yeah,
basically.
Like you're fine. Don't. People are always going to be assholes. People are always going to be mean and hateful and not want to, you know, do their research and learn about the world. But I needed to get that message out there because, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's people here who are proclaiming it, but I mean, I have a platform, and if anything, I wanted We670. I say in the video, I wanted it to be just a place of like welcoming and love and no judgment, open-mindedness, and I really wanted it to just be like a reassuring. Don't worry, like you don't have to say anything. Like you don't have to say. Go to a counselor or whatever, but just know that you're fine. Like there's nothing wrong with you, even though these people will say that there is. You know,
that's cool that you know, it was for me. It was a little different off of what your videos were doing, so that's what kind of got my attention.
180.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like I said, at the same time, you know, it was very educational for me. And you know, I'm definitely gonna try. I'm gonna see if I can leave a link so everyone could watch it. But yeah, man, I felt like it was very important because again, with me, you know, from the outside looking in, with the gay friends that I have, or you know, the gay people that I do know of, like I wouldn't see that there was an issue because it's a whole lot different than when I was growing up in the '90s. You know what I'm saying? So again, thank you for, you know, letting me know that it's still, you know, it's still out there. And then even, you know, a figure like you out here, you know, with your peers and stuff, you know, I would think that because they've been holding you down, the mentality has changed. Like, the younger generation now, they're more inclined into letting people know, letting their kids know that, this is fine. This is perfectly fine. Yeah. They're humans. They just, it's just a different taste, I guess, for lack of a better term, But, so that's where I was, my state of mind. And then, again, with you coming out with this video, I don't know, I haven't seen a video like that, someone stating, certain things or certain situations, I guess, But
I don't know. I feel like it's still something that I'm sure it happens, but people just don't really address it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, because like you just stated in the beginning, like this is not, I'm not looking for this information. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because why would I, really? Yeah. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's just like if
like I'm not trying to investigate nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I just see the feel of it. It's completely different from what it was back in the day. So I'm thinking
it is, and not to
but
you
discredit, came out and said it's not. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Not to discredit the progression of our society. I mean, it's definitely a lot more progressive. But I feel like like you said, since the 90s, like we're just millennia ahead of where we were and how we thought back then. But for me, it's like at this point in our history as humans, we're the most connected that we've ever been. You have access, no matter who you are, unless if you live in a first world country, you have access to so much information. You have access to the internet, so many books. If people go to the library still, I hope you do, because the library is awesome. But there's no excuse. There's no excuse for you to be ignorant. There's no excuse for you to be uneducated about people. And if you are, you're making the choice to be that way. So,
timestamp. Oh, bro. There you go, Meeks. Mix this shit.
Thank you.
Yeah. Man. So, the reason why I bring all this up, and I first off, I want to give the opportunity to really explain if anyone had any confusion on what that was all about. On top of that, too, it's another thing I learned is, first off, I just thought, again, it was far off of what your brand was. But, I'm glad. But I'm glad it's up there because, again, it got me, you know what I'm saying, tuning in and listening in. And I hope it does help out the people that you were listening.
I hope so, too.
Hopefully they see it and they just see the positives of what's going on, and they actually hear your message and know that they're not alone. And this we're a little bit, we're about at 120 right now. But but what I'm trying to segue in is, do you feel that that's where your platform is now, to where you could take a serious serious subject matter and actually get, I guess, people reacting to it positively, or do you feel? I mean, you see, I guess
could that be like a regular thing?
To where it's like, whenever there's a serious subject,
I feel.
And then still be part of the 6-7 brand.
Definitely, because that was that's a Saipan specific thing, that happened here. And that is actually something that I want to do as we progress, is to section off parts of the channel that are more for entertainment, more for just leisure, and then because there's so many things that. God, I mean, LGBTQ issues, of course, is one thing that's very near and dear to me. Like mental and emotional health. I want to talk about that because that's something. I know Gion's just like doing, her magic with that. Domestic violence with anti-males. I mean, like definitely. all these issues that because people don't talk about any of this. They really don't, unless you go to like a proclamation signing. Like you don't know. Like you just don't know what's going on. So there's so much to, as wonderful as our islands are, I feel like there's just as much about it that needs to be improved. And I feel the only way that, well, at least the only way that I can do, I'm not a politician, but like, you know what I mean? Like with what I do, I can start conversations or shed light on something that I feel needs to be addressed. I feel like a lot of, I don't know if it's from our Japanese occupation, but like, we're just so not willing to have confrontation. Like I feel like the general mentality is just keep everything cool. Dude, keep everything cool. You know what I mean?
That's kind of right. That's pretty accurate. Man.
Okay, like he said something to you, it's fine. Just don't. You know what I mean? Don't escalate it. Don't ever escalate it. Just keep everything as harmonious as possible. And I mean, for the most part, like you you'll have like a good couple hours in your day, but when you go home, you're still gonna be pissed and like, you know what I mean? Then people are gonna like, I don't know. There's so much trouble that comes from not talking about things and not addressing them.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of trouble with people who don't take the initiative, who have the opportunities to do that, like like myself. Like I was like, I can't just not post this. After seeing that, you know, after having these experiences, like I need, like it would be irresponsible of me.
Yeah, damn,
very,
that's a good way of putting it.
very selfish of myself. Obviously, what other ways there to be selfish? But like, you know, you that's a price you pay. Like if
you feel like there was a responsibility there.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like if you're in public I hate calling myself a public figure, but like, if that's, for lack of a better term, you know what I mean? You have to at least voice something. Like, I don't think people should always be champions for like justice and whatever, but you need to stand for something. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
You need to use that influence and that platform to help something develop, help it grow. Hopefully something good, not like Nazi white supremacy, but like, you know, you give back, because you know the world is fostering you, so you should want to foster the world as well. Easier said than done, though. Very easy. That's why I made one video, you know, like.
Well, you know, like I always felt that, you know, I've had many talks with some bandmates and just people that, you know, like minds, kind of on the same wavelength, and I always feel like, you know, when we leave this earth, like I feel like, I don't know if a waste of time is too extreme, but I feel like it's almost a waste of time if you didn't change someone's life. And,
or made a difference.
Yeah, made a difference in someone's life. And I feel with content creators in general, or public figures, we can even throw that word out there, you know what I'm saying? Like they're I don't think they're appreciated enough. You know,
absolutely.
and because
creatives in any sense are not, unless like they die, and then, like Vincent Van Gogh, you know what I mean? Like,
even just the one I did with Kim, Ziggy, you know, he likes to draw. Like even with that, Yaya was asking me, you know, about the podcast. I was explaining. He kind of butted in, but even with that, I pulled up some pictures of Kim, and she was already, without even knowing it, indirectly inspiring someone, you know. Because I don't know if you saw her artwork, but you know, she had all this crazy stuff, and he was already getting inspired. But anyways, I feel like you know, content creators, like we're almost putting it a step further. You know, we're gonna leave this earth changing a life or two. And,
absolutely.
You know, with the platform you got and everything, so I definitely understood that part. You know, before we leave though, just two things. Where do you see We670 going within like the next, let's say, year?
The next year.
And then on top of that, a message to content creators. I guess more so on the side of encouragement, because the ones that are struggling in school because you know they have this passion elsewhere that could be content creating. So just those two before we close out.
Okay. So where I want to see, obviously, just growth. I just want to grow in the business sense.
So a successful growth for you would be more subscribers?
Oh, God, yeah. You know what? If by the end of the year I'm reaching for, like, I want to say 5,000.
Okay.
Hopefully more than that, but, like, trying to make it somewhat realistic, if, you know, in lieu of getting one super viral video, which hopefully is soon. But, yeah, that's just growth. I definitely want to bring it back to the original vision I had of it, which was to incorporate more people into it, because I actually want to take a step back. I want to start focusing on, or not start, but be able to focus on more projects at once, and I can't really do that when I'm always in front of the camera.
Okay.
Yeah, so I really want to start incorporating other people, so be looking out for like audition calls.
Okay,
yeah, so anyone interested. So we definitely want to take it that way, and then just really, you know, branch out with our content. Like I said, brushing up on more serious topics.
Gotcha.
Really harnessing certain categories like just food, just travel.
Damn, man, I got to talk to you off air, but man, that's a lot of good stuff, man. Like to really categorize it.
Yeah,
nice.
That's what we're working towards. And
for the curious content creator
out there,
curious
content creators, I will have to say that my number one piece of advice. Well, there's two. One, you just have to love. You have to love and be excited about what you're doing, because I feel like that's how I got to where I am now, because I definitely didn't have a great camera. I definitely didn't have good audio, good lighting in the beginning. But because I was doing something that I enjoyed and I loved and I was excited to be doing, it just grew from there. It grew organically. And because people will be like, oh, I want to be on YouTube, but I'll just do makeup because that's what everyone's doing. Don't do that. If you love like crochet, or like, there's an audience for anything.
Yes.
Oh my God, like ASMR, it's ridiculous. People will watch anything. There's an audience for you. So find something that you love, and you're passionate about, like something, like and just keep developing that. Keep working at it. Keep poking at it. And then, secondly, which I think is just as, if not more important, is that you need to be your number one fan. At the end of the day, you cannot let someone else's opinion, unless it's someone that you really, really respect and knows what they're talking about. Ooh.
Yeah, no, just go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was like,
if it's gonna bother you, just take it off.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird because I'm hearing myself. I'm being repeated. But you need to be your own biggest fan.
Okay.
I feel like one thing that I do is I never ask people, unless I really feel like I need it. I never have people look at stuff that I'm doing and I'm like, oh, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? Like I make sure that I love it. Like I'm like, okay, this is great. Like I love watching this. Because honestly, in the beginning, you're not gonna.
That one. Yeah. I think I need that advice. But go ahead. Sorry.
Because in the beginning, you're not gonna have any fans. The only people, if you're lucky enough to have believe in you, as your friends and your family, and as wonderful as they are, they're not gonna be paying you to make the videos. You know what I mean? So you need to be your number one fan. You always need to be the first person that is super excited about the content that you're creating. Yeah.
Nice.
And
Damn.
That
was a fucking good one. Bro.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah. And like I feel too with just anything back to the untraditional, it's always that first step that everyone's cautious about. So, they'll do it like on their own time, not knowing that the internet world can really help you. And it's not even about getting famous, but could help you perfect your craft a little,
Absolutely.
But it's just that initial step that everyone's worried about because, so-and-so is not doing it, so-and-so doesn't approve, So hopefully there's some content creators out there.
Your biggest fan.
I know, no, that's what I'm saying, man. That
this.
shit makes a lot of sense, man. Hell yeah. But, all right, yeah, so I'm going to give you one more chance, or I'm going to give you, you're going to speak one more time before your shout-outs. But let me just give my shout-outs real quick and then start thinking, because what you don't want to do is forget anyone.
I know. My gosh. I love everyone.
But yeah, again, thank you guys, everyone. This is episode 5. I'm still having fun with it, man. A lot of people, or more people now, are anticipating the episodes. So I'm definitely going to start kicking out more. I got a list of people already that I'm interested in having a conversation with. But if you guys know of anyone, please find a way to message that to me. I'm not hard to get a hold of. So whether it's the ZosCast page or the ZosCast podcast or my personal pages, please hit me up. Of course, huge shout out to Rick Lee and the staff and management of Safe House. We were just here last night, the 3 of us, and with a lot of other people, and it's so crazy that we're back here again with the lights on.
Here.
Basically. But thank you, man, Rick Lee. He's been very helpful with the progression of this, and we're still at the infancy stages, and he's really helping out. Thanks for Meeks again. Yeah.
Is that everybody? Is that everybody?
No. Make it seem like there's a lot of people. Like there's an audience.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to kill time to make sure I got everyone. But yeah, man, just thank you everyone for all the support. I'm gonna be putting more time into this to help it grow. But yeah, it's really gonna depend on you guys. So thank you. So before we go, your shout outs and any last words. Yeah.
All right. So of course I wanna thank my dream team, Ashley and Adrian. Hopefully we grow. So be looking out for, like I said, audition and casting calls. But I also want to thank our sponsors, Marianas Variety and Pacifica Insurance Underwriters. You guys allow us to be hopefully wonderful.
Well, good enough.
And of course, to anyone listening and to anyone who watches us, thank you so much for supporting. It really means a lot. I can't really put it in words because it's still very odd when people come and like say, "Oh, I really loved your video." I'm like, "Oh, really?" Yeah, but thank you so much for all the support and all the love. I hope that we are succeeding in entertaining you guys and hopefully helping you appreciate the cinema a little bit more. And lastly, thank you to Uncle Josh for having me on here. This was really fun. This is, I don't know, I prefer this because it's kind of like, it's not like in the camera, you know what I mean? It's mostly just like your voice. So it's there's so much less pressure right now. Yeah, but thank you. This is great. I'm really excited to see the progression of this.
Yeah, thank you, man. And thanks for coming on. Another last minute thing I did last minute with Cook too, so I got to break that habit.
Okay.
But thank you for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you.
Again, the untraditional thinkers is who I really want to highlight on this. And, with everything you're doing, I know you shed a lot of light with everything that's going on out here. So in a sense, you are to really supporting local out here and really putting stuff out. So thank you for that, and like we spoke about before, before the podcast, just trying to really build that community of untraditional, uncommon thinkers. So
absolutely,
thank you for that. Thank you for allowing me to point at you when it comes to an example of someone who's somewhere. Like, see, he can do it.
Yeah.
You did it this quick and all that. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
But bro, and we're definitely, and I didn't say this in other podcasts, but everyone that's on my show the first time around is going to have the opportunity the second time around. So
awesome. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk about more.
I'll come up and think of more stuff.
Yeah. But anyways, has to be, it's definitely the longest one I've done so far.
Oh, wow. Okay. Ooh, so
there you go. But yeah, thanks again,
right,
guys, for listening, tuning in. And stay tuned for the next one. Shoots.
Ooh, that was great.